Hey everyone, I'm Simon, you're watching Do It, and this is going to be a really quick tips video on some CNC tricks, particularly if you are running a ShopBot machine, but this technique should work with whatever system that you're using at home. You just have to know a few ins and outs of your G-code editor. So the problem we're tackling today is modifying manually the G-code output that whatever your software is that produces, so you can kind of tweak a few things on your own, and also starting a part file, a cut file from a particular specified line in that program. I'm making a long game for a friend, and it involves just a series of holes around a perimeter of a long plank. For hold down, I usually use these threaded inserted areas, and if something is more complex, I'll make a hole or two in a particular place where it belongs, and then I might fill those holes. So where this screw is and this screw is are actually a couple game holes right there, so I'm not damaging this piece. So I did a couple first with some holds, there we go, in 4 places, there, and one on the opposite side right there. Took these 2 out, this one and that one, and then reinserted a new hold down right here, screwing directly into my table so it would be free. So then I started doing these outer holes in the very edge. On the return path home, if it cut through this thing a little bit, no big deal, but it's just my luck that on the return home after cutting this final hole, it cut not only right through this thing, but directly into a screw, and killed my poor little 1/8 inch end mill. It's dead. I have kind of an unfortunate setup where I have to do all my design and editing in a room on the opposite side of my house than where my garage is. So then I share those files, the output files, to this laptop here, and if you can tell by looking at it, it's a Compact that I think was bought in 2005 from Walmart. It runs on Windows XP and it's what I use to control my ShopBot buddy. So when I'm in a pinch and I don't feel like going all the way back to the house, especially when it's late at night and I don't want to be traipsing through the house when my wife and the kids are sleeping, I want to do some quick editing out here to the code itself, because obviously this computer can't run a version of Vectric Aspire. Maybe it can, but I don't even want to try. So I had to go into the output toolpath file, modify that, save it as a new file. So I'm just going to point the camera right at the screen here, and you can watch that process right now. What you've got to do is find the toolpath file wherever it's actually saved. So here I've got the one I need to modify, and if I right click and open with, and I don't want to go to Notepad. Notepad's a decent way to see the code, but if you, again, so this is specific to ShopBot. The firmware comes with an app called SB Edit, and it's like a small code editor. If you're familiar with little C++ editors or other HTML generators, things like that. And so here you've got your highlighted in blue, the commands. So all I want to change here is the return home. So luckily that's really easy to find. It's the second to last command. So here I just got to scrub down these thousands of lines of code. And here we go. At the end, the final cut. Here, it's coming a little bit closer. The final cut is right here. We're at negative ½ inch below the surface of the material, right? And so it makes its final move. It jogs, so that's M is move, J is jog, 3 means 3 axes, X, Y, Z. So here you can see it's staying in the same exact X and Y location, going up ½ inch. Then it would turn the router off, and it jogs to my 00 home. And that is the unfortunate diagonal path it took directly from here straight to 00. And it went right through that screw. So this is the part I want to change. After it comes up to this height, I'm going to add a command, and I want it to move 3. Yes, so X is what I want to move. So I'm going to specify that it goes to 5 inches. And then I'm just going to copy these two. So my Y and my Z stay exactly the same. Control C. Control V. And now, so it's pretty great. So that's all it took right there. In that instead of going home from this location, it's going to go home from, it's going to move only in the X direction to a safe point beyond that hold down, and then move home here. So this is why it's important to choose the, sorry, my focus here. It's important to choose the ShopBot Edit app and not Notepad, because when you do a save as or a save, it is going to save specifically as a ShopBot part toolpath file. So, and look, you can see here I've already created one. So I'll just make this one mod 2, save. Now let's run this cut. Here's how you would run in the ShopBot system from a particular line in your code. So let's just back it up to, like, let's just call it 3,820. See what that does. So in the user interface, you're going to go to File, go to Line or Single Step. Select the part file, and we'll do mod 2. It's the one I just created. Open, start, and you get this little user interface window here. Go to, what do we say, 3,820. So line number 3,820, and go. Hit OK. It loads it from that spot. It's there. And here we go. Let's run from here. Boop. So it's going to go to that last little cut area and go down to that 5-inch X direction, stop, and then jog home. Brilliant. If I had thought of that before I had run the original, it would have saved me an end mill. There you go. Not our typical style of video today, but hopefully if you are into CNCing, and I'm sorry I can't show you more than just my system, but I'm almost certain that any software you use, any machine or product you're using would have this type of option built in. And it can be a real time saver, and even sometimes you can't quite make things work exactly the way you want in your generator, and this is the perfect way to do that, and also start from a specified point rather than having to wait through the entire cut file. So thanks for watching. And I almost forgot to mention, thank you so much to this month's top Patreon supporters, Kim and Garrett Make It and Moody Wood Carving.